Day one of our 52 tiny paintings in 2026 is here, and we're starting off cozy and simple with this adorable little coffee mug. And look how our inexpensive little Hobby Lobby frame dressed it up. I hope you have so much fun with this one. Let's get started. We're going to come in with a pencil on this one to start off with. I'm going to be maybe a third of the way down the page because I do want some steam coming off. So I'm just going to draw an oval. Okay. And then I'm going to draw another oval on the outside of that oval. It does not have to be perfect. This is just going to be the rim of our mug. And you'll see we paint it in. This is just a guide for me. So, and then we're going to come down kind of like midway into on the outer oval. And we're just going to draw our lines down. Not worrying about perfection one bit. And then just connect the lines at the bottom with a subtly curved line. And over here, I am going to just draw a couple guidelines again of where I want our handle to meet the mug. And I'm going to draw the inner portion of the handle first. So I'm going to come towards the bottom of our first guideline. And I'm just going to kind of draw, it's kind of like a half of a heart, or like you're drawing an ear on a person. And then for the outer portion of our handle, just follow that line. Now, if you're a person who does not like to see your lines at the end of a painting, this is where you can take your kneaded eraser, or I don't have my kneaded erasers out, so I'm just going to kind of tap this rather than smudging the paper. I'm just going to kind of just tap it a little bit. I like the lines at the end, and in fact, I add more, so that does not bother me. I would like to have a heart on my mug, and so I'm going to just draw that in. And I also want some steam coming out of my mug. And so this is where I might, well, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can just kind of very gently erase a little bit of that back rim. And then we're just going to draw some swirling lines in there. It's just easier, for me, it's easier that way because then we're just going to make them swirl. This does not have to make sense in any way, and maybe we'll just add another, doesn't have to make sense. It's easier to draw these lines back in for me than it is to get my little eraser right in those little spots. So I'm just going to kind of go like this. That's the beauty of painting wonky things, because we don't have to worry about anything being perfect. I'm going to now draw in the line for the coffee. So I'm going to just come kind of like it's going to be like an arch a little bit. And I'm going to come up here. And it's going to kind of go behind the steam and back down here. So that will be our coffee line. I actually decided I'm going to have this coffee mug sitting on a table. So you could just draw a straight line across. I'm going to just for interest, I'm going to just draw it a little bit diagonally. And you just have to imagine where it's going to come out over here. So there's our little countertop. And I am going to come in with our background first because I want my background to be a really light color. And in watercolors, we work light to dark. Right now, I just have water on my brush, clean water, and I'm going to go around the mug. I am not going to the edges. You could tape this. I should have said that at the beginning. You can always tape it if you like a border. I like kind of organic looking borders. And so I am just going to go around all of these. Kind of go in the handle there. And I'll speed you up through this because you don't need to see me just putting water on paper. I mean, you don't need to see it in real time. I have something on my brush. Okay. You don't need to see it in real time, and you don't really need instruction. The main instruction is just go around your object and put your background in. You can see I'm doing a yellow background. I'm going to purposefully make some of it lighter than the other parts. Put a little bit more pigment in here. And I'm very sorry if my camera is shaking. I can't really tell. I have a different setup right now and this is literally my first painting. I haven't painted yet. I just tapped my brush on my towel, take the water and color off just to soak up some of this stuff. I got a little bit too much in there for my liking. And if this dries up too much, you can just add some more water over here. I don't think I was working quite quickly enough. I'm just going to add some more in here. Yeah, I might need to tweak my setup here because usually this thing that's holding my phone was attached to a different table, but I don't have that luxury right now. So it's sitting on the table. So as I'm moving my brush, it's kind of shaking things, but I'll get it figured out. Okay, and then over here, I don't like that straight line, so I'm just going to kind of work it like that. And go around the steam, and then on this side as well. I want the table to be a different color, so just go like that. I like it. I'm going to dry this with my heat gun. You can let it dry or use a hair dryer. My next light color is going to be the steam, and I'm using Payne's Gray. I'm going to tap it in here. Got quite a bit of water on my brush. By the way, I'm using a size 6 round brush. I will link all of our supplies. And I'm just going to move this Payne's Gray throughout our little steam shapes here. And the reason we work light to dark in watercolor is because, as you can see, perhaps, watercolors are translucent, and meaning you can just see right through them. So it would not work if I had a, let's say if I had a dark blue on here right now, like a dark navy blue, I couldn't add yellow to that. You wouldn't see it. So but I could add some navy blue to this or over here, you know, you'd be able to see that. Whereas in acrylics and other mediums, you know, you can work dark to light, no problem. And you can see there's pencil marks, there's white spaces in there. I do not worry about those because I use pens at the end. All right, gonna let that dry. Actually, I don't need to let that dry because I'm not working up there right now. So I'm going to go to our heart, and I'm going to use Madder Red for the heart. And I'm actually going to switch to I'm going to switch to a size 2 brush for that. Just gives a little bit more precision in here. And you can see the heart is wonky. You can leave it wonky. You can try to reshape it just with your brush if you'd like. Whatever suits you. Some people can't stand wonky. Some people can't stand perfect. So you just make it your own. Okay, there's our heart. Now I am going to dry that thoroughly. For our mug, I am going to use a mixture of Prussian blue and black. I'm also going to use that mixture on the countertop, but it's going to be a lot lighter. So this right here is Prussian blue and black, very diluted. So I've got a lot of water on this. And so since this is lighter than our mug is going to be, I'm putting that down first. It doesn't matter if it gets a little bit up in the mug because it's going to be a lot lighter. Or the mug's going to be a lot darker anyway. Okay. I haven't decided. I didn't plan very well with this, whether or not I'm going to tape. As it's moving around on me, I'm thinking, maybe it would be good to tape it. We will see. Okay, so we're going to dry that completely. And now we're going to come in with our Prussian blue and black, a lot less diluted. So there's not very much water in this. You can see how much darker. This is the same as that with less water. So we're just going to go around this. And since I'm just coloring in, I'm going to speed you through this part. If you're new here, this is what I do. I speed through the parts where you don't need to just sit there and listen. You can pause if you're painting with me. Just pause and color in. And when I get to the rim part, I am switching to a size 2 brush. For our coffee, I'm going to use Van Dyke Brown. And this could be your coffee, your hot cocoa, your tea, whatever your favorite cozy warm beverage is. Going back to my size 6 brush, and I'm going back into the Prussian blue and black, and I'm just going to make some darker spots on our mug and leaving some of it the lighter blue. I mean, none of it looks light blue, right? But it's going to look light blue once I put some dark blue on there. We'll do some darker over here. The sun is setting rapidly, and I don't have my lighting situation figured out yet, so I can't really see what I'm doing very well. But that's okay. And you can just kind of be organic with it. Just leave little spots like that showing. I'm going to switch back to my size 2 to get that rim. I also have a size 0 I could use, but I'm going to live on the edge and go like that. And then we're going to dry all of this and add our pen details. I was going to use pen for the shadow under our cup, but I think I'll actually grab some Payne's Gray, which is lighter than our mug, but I'm not going to worry about that because if it touches into the mug a little bit and brings some of that blue out, it's okay because we're trying to put a darker shadow here anyway. So let's just make sure it touches. There we go. And then we've got a little shadow. Now we will dry completely and add pen detail. And starting off, I'm going to use a size 5 micron. Now, at this point, if you're not adding any paint, you do not need to have waterproof pens. These are waterproof, but we're not adding any more paint. So you can, if you just have a Sharpie pen, or even if you just have a ballpoint pen, you just use what you've got. If you have not been here before, if you're new, just know that I scribble my lines because I love that. This pen is kind of running out of ink, and I did just buy, I'm going to turn this just so maybe you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. I did just buy a new set of microns, so I'll be breaking into those pretty soon. But for this painting, I'm just going to do that. But you can see it almost looks like crayon or colored pencil. I'm just going to, I think the scratchier the better for lines. Many people disagree with me, and that is all right. See how I'm not being precise. I'm going to go inside our rim. I'm going to make some lines in our coffee as well here in a little bit, and our steam. So the coffee, I'm probably just going to, just some variation. And then we're going to go around our steam. Maybe even add some lines in our shadow down here. You can get as scribbly or as neat as you would like to be. Now, I'm going to be done with that. I'm going to bring in my Jelly Roll size 10. If you missed the supplies video, I do have a playlist for this whole series. So you're welcome to go back and check that out if you're like, what are you using, lady? They'll also be linked in the description of this video. Now, I'm just adding highlights. You can see scribble, scribble again. I'm just going to kind of put some highlights where I think it might be reflecting. I'm also going to outline the heart just because it got a little lost in the blue. So I'm just going to kind of bring that back to life a little bit. That. Now, I do not put cream in my coffee, but we'll just put a little bit of light in there as well. Kind of thinking the light is coming from here. That's why I'm putting all my my reflection sort of highlights over there. You're not going to be able to see it in the steam very much. Definitely not on camera, but I'm adding some white scribbles in there as well. And then you just play with it until you're done. And for some reason, my phone stopped recording without me knowing it, but the only thing I missed was my signature here, so we're all good. You didn't miss any instructions. Okay. Oh, and one more thing. I am just going to grab my pen again, And on the other side of where my signature is, I'm going to write 1 of 52, 1/52. You can do it however you would like. You can write it on the back, whatever you prefer. And remember the frames I showed you from Hobby Lobby in the supplies video? Look how cute. What a sweet little gift this would make for somebody, or just a cheerful little addition to your kitchen windowsill. I just love it. These inexpensive little frames really dress it up, don't they? Okay, day 1 is in the books. We will see you next Tuesday for our second of 52 paintings this year.